Good morning, everyone. So, in the previous class, we looked into the halides formed by the group 14 elements. So, now we will be looking into group 14 hydrides. Okay. So, group 14 elements, like group 13 elements, also form the corresponding hydrides. Okay. And all of the elements form the hydrides, but the number of compounds that are formed may vary. That means when we talk about carbon, okay, hydrides, we know we have different forms of carbon hydrides present. That is carbon hydrogen compounds. We have alkanes, we have alkenes, and alkynes. So that means three different forms of hydrides, and these range of compounds or hydrides formed by carbon is quite enormous, and that is why a separate branch of chemistry itself is concentrated on hydrocarbons. So, however, when we talk about silicon, okay, they also form hydrides of general formula. That is the formula shown by alkanes, that is CnH2n plus 2. Similarly, silicon also form hydrides of general formula SiNH2n plus 2, and these are called as silanes. Like alkanes, synonymously we call them as silanes here. But usually the connectivity between the silicon atoms can be up to 8 silicon atoms. Higher than that is usually not much known. That is again because of the lower catenation property of the silicon in comparison to the carbon. Now, the ring compounds formed by silicon is also very rare, and you do not have in the case of carbon, you have alkenes and alkynes being formed. There is no such analogs available in the case of silicon. Talking about its preparation, they have a preparation that is similar to the preparation as we discussed when we talked about the boron hydrides. Okay, so here also again you treat magnesium and silicon in the absence of air to form the magnesium silicide, which on hydrolysis with sulfuric acid lead to the formation of mixture of silicon hydrides, which are in general called as silanes. And the most abundant form that is formed is SiH4. Higher forms are like lesser in number, percentage of what is being formed. Now, how they are separated is again the same protocol that was used by Alfred Stock in the case of borane. Separate mixture of boranes, he used a vacuum lining. Similar kind of setup was used to separate these different silanes. Coming to the most commercial way to prepare silane is by reduction of the corresponding tetrachloride with lithium aluminum hydride. This is very similar to what you used to synthesize diborane. We used the corresponding boron chloride and reduced it using lithium aluminum hydride to get the diborane. Similar kind of preparation you are seeing here. So whenever you study, try to compare what you have studied there, and then it would be easier for you to recollect them and understand and remember them also in a nice fashion, not like just mugging up, but something you are understanding and appreciating and then trying to make some sense out of it. Okay, so here by reduction of the silicon tetrachloride, you can make the corresponding silane. Silanes are more reactive than alkanes. As a result, they are very strong reducing agent. They ignite in air. Okay, in air it will react with the oxygen to form the silicon oxide and the corresponding water. Let me write the equation for you here. So when we talk about the reaction, you have the silane, that is Si H4 is reacting with the oxygen. That means they ignites an oxygen because they react to form the corresponding silicon dioxide plus H2O. Yes, H2O. Now you can balance them. Here you can put 2 here, so 4 hydrogen here. Silicon is 1. You have oxygen here 4, so you just put 2 here. So it's a highly exothermic reaction and it ignites, that's why. Okay. However, when you talk about chlorine, it kind of explodes. Okay, it explodes when you react with chlorine. Okay, the reactivity is like you are converting, kind of reducing them to the corresponding, because these act as a very good reducing agent. Why? Because when you heat this silane, that is SiH4, when you heat it, they are converted to silicon and H2. And this H2 is the cause of reduction. So whenever you have this H2 reacting with Cl2, it's a vigorous reaction to form the reduced HCl. Okay, so this particular reaction is very, very, so if you just multiply it with 2, it becomes 4 here. Now you add it, you will get the ultimate equation here. Okay, so this is what is happening in the reaction. And this reaction is highly exothermic, and that's why they explode when you react it. Further, these silanes, here they have shown the silane with 2 silicon atoms. They hydrolyze in the presence of alkali to form the corresponding silicon oxide, and the hydrogen gas is evolved. Okay. And then like boranes, they form hydroboration. Likewise, silanes also show the reaction of hydrosylation with the alkene. So when you treat it with this kind of silane, what happens is that the hydrogen adds on to this carbon, and you have this rest of the SiCl3 adding on to this product. So this way you can synthesize an organosilicon reagent, which can be used for further organic synthesis. Now, why you have the silanes more reactive than the alkane? It can be explained on the basis of 3 important features. One of the features is that the electronegativity. Now, if you compare the alkane, carbon has a electronegativity value of 2.5, hydrogen has 2.1. So obviously, this being more electronegative, you will have delta negative charge here and delta positive charge here. However, in the case of silicon, silicon has a lower electronegativity value compared to the hydrogen, and that's why it generates a delta positive charge. And now, therefore, these atoms or these sites are highly susceptible to nucleophilic attack. Okay, that is one cause of reactivity of silane over the alkane. Another thing is the large size of silicon. So because of the large size of silicon, the attack is more feasible on the silicon in comparison to carbon. And another third reason, which also is a very prominent reason, is because of the availability of low energy d orbitals, which can therefore form intermediates and thus lower the activation energy. Okay, so here, as you can see here, what is happening? Low energy d orbital, because of which the formation of intermediates is possible, and because of ease of formation of these intermediates, the activation energy is lowered, and therefore the reaction is more feasible in the case of silane in comparison to carbon, which do not have any low energy d orbitals. So these are the 3 reasons why the silanes are more reactive over the alkanes. Moving further, talking about the other element hydrides, we find here that the germanium also forms the hydrides. They are called by a general name, germanes, and also they only form alkane type of hydrides. And the maximum number of N possible is in germane, again 5. Silicon it was 8, N is 5 here. Now again, because of reduced catenation property. Usually straight chain compounds, they are colorless and volatile liquids, colorless gases or volatile liquids. So higher versions are volatile liquids. Similar to silanes, they are less volatile, less flammable, and are unaffected by water or aqueous acid. So here what you see is that the germanes are formed by reaction of the lithium aluminum hydride with the corresponding. Here again, you can synthesize germane by simply reducing it with the lithium aluminum hydride. This is a very common preparation that you will find for these particular compounds. For every kind of these hydrides, you can easily prepare by just reducing their chlorides with the corresponding chlorides with the corresponding lithium aluminum hydride. In dry ether, you can make the corresponding germanes. Now, stannanes also you can make just by similar protocol you can use here. Stannane tetrachloride, you can reduce with lithium aluminum hydride to form the corresponding SNH4. Except SN2H6, no other stannanes are known. So only this stannane is known, higher stannane, only this is known, not others are known. Now they are very strong reducing agent. That is again understandable because this here is in its +4 oxidation state. So they will try to form the +2 oxidation state. That's why they have a tendency to reduce from +4 to +2 and leading to it acting as a good reducing agent. Plumbane, again, very less chance of formation of plumbane, but you can make in low concentration PbH4 by cathodic reduction and can be detected. These formations can be detected using mass spectroscopy. That means they are very short-lived species, but still you can have them. You can make them and you can measure the formation of these. Okay, that's why it's very difficult to prepare and very, very less stable. So that is all regarding the hydrides that are formed by the group 14 elements. So I hope you understood them, and any doubts you can come forward in the live session. Thank you very much for your attention.